Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We are here for episode number 70. My name is Christian Dragonetti, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend and Australian PGA professional, and he's in a bit of a mood, Mr. Joel Mitchell. Jolie, mate, what's going on?
I'm not always in a mood, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Otherwise, I'm bubbly, I think is the good.
That's not the mood I was talking about.
Oh, hungry? No, I'm bubbly. I'm bubbly. Come on. What mood is it?
I don't know. You just seem like you've got something on your chest that you need to get off. A little bit of deep frustration.
One thing didn't. Yeah, I'm annoyed about something. But
there you go. Recent rounds, Jolly. Let's get straight into it.
Does it matter?
You wanted to talk. You said I've got something to get off my chest.
All right. Well, check the. All right. Okay.
I said it was, mate.
It's just a quick one that really pissed me off today. It's not a recent round. It was during a practice session. I was playing at Rosanna.
What hole?
4.
Okay.
So you know how it crosses over on 8?
Yeah.
8 actually had nothing to do with it, right? I've hit my tee shot and I hit this low peeling cut.
Yeah.
And it like bounces on just on the hill and like trickles down. Anyways, and I played with one other guy. We were supposed to actually play comp when it was a 4 of us, but it was a group of 2. It was really slow, so we only played 9, right? Which was perfect because we're waiting for every shot, right? Not the point. I've hit my tee shot, it's rolled down to the fairway, and I've seen it. I've seen it with my eyes in the middle of the fairway, right before this stupid bird, right? So I saw where it was, and the group in front of us, one of them was like, they walked up to the green. Well, 2 of them did. And one of them was around the corner, and as we're sort of walking off the tee box, walking down the hill, the third, I think it was one of them has like walked out to the fairway and like played a shot, but like 40 in front of me. So I figured he's been way sideways, he's punched and done something.
Yeah.
Right? I'm thinking he's playing his 3rd shot, right? Anyway, there was no group on 8 until we get to the tee box. So there was no group on 8. We get down to my playing partner's ball, he hits up, and then I'm sort of looking around going, hang on, where's my ball?
No.
Where's my ball?
Oh, for fuck's
Right, so I'm thinking drain. That's all I thought.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because I'm thinking, it's just kept trickling.
Yep.
I checked every drain in Australia, right? Ball's gone. Gone. And I saw it. It was in the middle of the fairway,
Please
150
don't tell me it
meters
was a
out.
fresh seed.
It was.
Oh,
It was 3 holes
Jolly.
old. So it was brand new, fresh line. The line was so good on it too, right? And like I said, it's not about the ball. It's not about
No,
the
it's
actual
not.
golf ball. It's the principle, right? So all I did was I quickly gone, and I don't get frustrated about it immediately. I'm like, they've made a mistake. They've picked up a golf ball they shouldn't have. I'm just going to go say, guys, hey, I know you've got the ball, but I'm going to ask, hey, did you see the ball?
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to say I know you have it because I saw you. I'm not sort of, that's all. Anyway, I've quickly jogged up the green. Hey lads, quick one. I hit my shot into the middle of the fairway. There's no one else around. It's not in a drain. It's not anywhere. Did you accidentally grab it?
Yeah.
Right? And I showed him just another older ball from a previous round that's marked in the exact same way. I said, this is the markings on it. It's Titleist 1.
It's going to look like this.
It's going to look exactly like that. And they looked at me like I was speaking Swahili. Right? And they're like, don't know what you're talking about. Didn't say anything. No idea.
That's
so I'm like,
so bad.
So my blood started boiling a little bit. I'm like, okay, look, is it okay if you just prove to me you don't have it?
Yeah.
Like just
Because you know.
I know they have it.
Yeah.
But they don't know that I know that they know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, all good. Can you just prove to me? Just prove to me you don't have it, and I'll walk away and go.
Whatever.
God knows where that's gone.
Yeah.
It's probably fell into the drain. I don't know. All right. Anyway, not a single one of them reached for their bag, pocket, thing. One of them got real defensive and I'm not going to say aggressive, but he goes, well, where'd you lose it? I'm like, in the middle of the fairway, dude. That's why I'm asking you guys. I'm not confronting you. I'm asking you, do you have any idea where this has gone?
Any chance?
Any chance you even saw someone else grab it?
Yeah.
Or something, because it was in the middle of the fairway, dude. I saw it.
Without accusing you, I'm accusing you of nicking my golf ball.
Oh, those fuckers have that ball.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so I'm like, righto. And I said, very disappointing. No problem, though. So I just walked away and just hit another shot. Ended up making birdie with the second ball. So,
oh, well.
Right? But, and then on the, I couldn't
shake it.
It was eating me a little bit. I couldn't let it, because they lied to me.
Yeah.
I knew they lied to me. So that's what was annoying me. It wasn't about the ball. Anyway, I get up onto 6T and I show them again. I'm like, hey, lads, look, this is the only thing that makes sense. I said, I just need you to be truthful with me. And I literally said to him, I said, I know one of you have it. I'm just going to put that out there. I know one of you do. I'm not actually angry at all because it's just a golf ball. I just need you to show me that you did it. Right? One of them actually didn't even speak to me or turn around to even talk to me and just kept walking. And then the other two, one of them actually still got quite fucking frustrated about it, the fact that I was confronting him.
Yeah.
And the other guy just like showed me two of his balls that he had in his pocket. They were two Callaway things or something like that.
Fair enough.
So I'm just like, all right, I'm dropping you. And yeah, the other two just pissed off. And I was infuriated. So what I did, I grabbed the ball that was actually in my pocket with the same markings and I threw it onto the edge of the 7th fairway, like right in prime time where people would walk past.
Yeah.
So I planted a ball to see if they would walk past and grab that too. And they didn't. And I'm headless.
Because they knew.
Pissed off.
They probably knew.
Well, one of them actually had a look at it and just kept walking. So, and I'm like, and like I said, it's not the fact that they picked up the golf ball and I'm now down a golf ball because I have a lot. That's not the issue. It's the fact that one, you bullshitted me and two, you picked up the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Like that's what pissed me off. Anyway.
I've actually been involved in something a little bit similar, but from the other bloke's perspective.
Right.
I've been in the group that gets accused of stealing a golf ball.
Yeah, right.
And to say that the bloke that it was accusing us had no idea where his golf ball went in the first place is an understatement. I wouldn't be able to tell you what hole. I know it was at Heidelberg. I know we were 3/4 of the way down the hole. Someone yells out and goes, anyone seen this pill? Right. We said, nah, sorry, mate. Nothing we've seen. Has anyone picked anything up? No, we don't pick. And generally, me and my mates, we don't pick up other balls.
You don't touch balls.
Don't touch balls, right? Unless, if I'm in the Goombie left of 15 and no one is in sight and you just go, oh, fresh Pro V1, whatever,
Or,
no one else. Or I know it's definitely not anything. You just go, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just generally going to pick it up and throw it away anyway because I don't want it. Right? But yeah, we're just like, nah, we don't pick up golf balls. That's not what we do.
Yeah.
Nah, you guys have got it. I reckon one of you guys has nicked it. Oh. And we were just like, mate, and we literally, all four of us, pockets empty.
Yeah.
Here are all the golf balls in my bag where I keep my golf balls. We don't have it.
Yeah.
Nah, I reckon one of you guys has got it. And we were just like, mate, we've even gone to the effort to prove to you that we have it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I reckon frustrated me the most.
Come on.
That I just asked them, can you just show me you don't?
Yeah.
Just show me you don't. And not one of them wait for a ball, nothing. And
See,
I'm
I
like,
don't, because what I'm about to
just
say,
annoyed me so much.
I don't disagree with the fact that you've asked them to prove it. It doesn't sit right with me in the sense because I've been on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Had I been in your shoes and fucking seen it in point blank range, I would have been like,
that's the other thing.
I can understand it.
Yeah.
But having been on the opposite side of that, where I've actually been accused
of it. Well, that's the other thing. If
you approach it in the right manner, which from all accounts you did.
Well, I'm like, look, if you're denying it, I'm not going to rummage through your bag. I'm not going to push you over and rummage through your bag for a golf ball. That's not what's happening.
No.
I just want you to be truthful with me.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Right. And if I had been down another hole and put it into the way, like on 12, or for example, and I hit it right and it's going towards 13 green or 8T or something, and I spray it and the ball disappears.
Yeah, different story.
Whoops.
Different story.
Whoops. I'm not 100% where the ball went anyway, but it's in the middle of the fairway. I'm in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's what frustrated me.
Just while we're on the topic, I've actually got another story, just quickly.
Yeah.
And this is where that Titleist loyalty program comes into play.
Yeah.
Right? Because a couple of years ago, right, when I had the guess where who's me's, right? Right? Hit a massive, as I tend to do sometimes, hit a massive push cut out onto 7 from 5 tee box.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and then I go and I know exactly where it is because I hit it there every fucking week. Right? I hit the same shot every fucking week. It's either going in the bunker or it's out on 7. That's it, right? I walk up and sure enough, some bloke is standing over my golf ball about to hit it. And I'm like, mate, are you sure that's your golf ball? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, because I've just hit one out here. I'm just looking for mine.
Yeah, just check it.
I'm just having a look, just wondering if you've seen mine.
Yeah.
And he goes, nah, this is mine. And I'm like, what are you playing? And he goes, Titleist 2. And I'm like, me too. And he goes, blue line. I'm like, yeah, me too. And he goes, oh, fuck. And then I'm like, mine's actually got some writing on it.
Yeah.
Other than the blue line. And he goes, oh, I'll check it. And he just picks it up, has a look and goes, actually, no, this one's yours, mate.
Oh, that one's
And I'm like, fair enough. Like I wasn't upset at him.
Yeah.
He was adamant with me at the start, but once we explained it to each other a little bit more, and it was just fucking sheer coincidence.
Yeah, the same
We're
ball.
both playing Titleist 2s with blue lines on them, right? Mine just had the guess where is me.
Yeah.
Right?
Which he's not looking for. He sees
for.
titles 2, blue line, my ball.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't really there was no reason to get upset at him. He was perfectly understandable. He's like, oh, sorry, mate, wrong one.
Yeah.
I'll go look for mine.
Yeah.
And I found his for him as well. I was like, it's over here.
Yeah, it's just
I'll do you
it's
that
near.
favor.
Yeah.
It's near that.
Yeah.
It happens.
That one's fine. That one's all right.
That one's not, but again,
But mine's got a distinct marking. Like, not distinct, but I don't see many with the ball mark like that.
you play Pro V1Xs with a green line or a red line.
No. I do. Red
Yeah.
line, but I also scribble out the Titleist with red.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a distinct marking. There's plenty of people that would do that.
Yeah.
But
It's just an extra bit.
it's just that extra little bit of, because there's going to be a million people that have a red line on a Pro
Yeah.
V1X.
I used to do
But
a dot on top and on the
Yeah.
bottom of the Titleist, like writing.
Yeah.
And the blue line.
Yeah.
So it was like two blue dots and a blue line.
And
that
some
was
writing.
mine.
And some writing.
And some writing.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, whatever.
Anyway, recent rounds.
Recent rounds, Jolly. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
I played on yesterday, which was Monday, King's birthday,
Yeah.
and had 31 points playing off 3. Wasn't anything too crash hot. Didn't hit the ball all that fantastic. It was a bit wet, a bit windy, a bit crap. We got 4 or 5 holes of sunlight, which was beautiful towards the end of the round. Just an off day.
You play in the morning, didn't you?
Yeah,
It was rotten in the
just an
morning.
off day. I
was
kind
rotten
of
in the
spruiked a
morning.
little bit that I was kind of looking forward to playing well this weekend because that's just how things go generally when I've got a few rounds in quick succession. It didn't quite work out for me this way. I had 34 points on Friday and played yesterday as well. Is what it is.
Fine,
Won't
34
talk about
points is
Saturday.
fine.
But Saturday was Saturday, but I won't talk about that. It was a bit of a stinker, but
What are you doing?
bit of meh
31 points off 3 now was what, you're 34 off 6.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't have been too bad.
No,
So it's, anyway.
it's still
It's a stinker.
It's a stinker. It's still laid over, but
sort of,
like,
but
oh well.
if you're playing, anyway.
Oh well, I hit some good shots that I was happy with, and there's a bit of a running theme for me over the last couple of weeks, and you might be able to attest to this as well. Putting really well and not getting rewarded for it.
Yeah.
I felt like I putted pretty well yesterday,
Yeah.
and nothing dropped.
Yeah. Oh.
Fucking 31 points yesterday quickly turns into 33, 34
Yeah.
if a couple of putts drop.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean? Anyway, that's my little rant over.
sometimes it's half a ball of a missed lineup, not even a missed lineup, or
It was
it's,
pace yesterday.
or it's half a foot too hard, too soft.
We played on Friday at Heidelberg, and the greens were rapid,
They were very quick.
very very quick,
Yeah.
and I took 3 rounds to figure
With
out.
Friday was some of the weirdest pin positions I've seen in a while. They
Yeah,
were in
agreed.
some funky spots. I'm like,
Agreed.
whoa, like tricky pins, but they were very quick. Very
Anyway,
quick.
talk to me about PK Jolly.
I went to Disneyland yesterday. Fuck, I love that joint. Raptor called me like Thursday or something like that, or
Yep.
Friday maybe, and he goes, "Oh, we're playing with so and so and so and so." He goes, "Got a spot? You playing?" I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
right. So, anyway, and turns out so and so and so and so had to pull out. Instead, we got Remy.
Oh, cool.
So, and it was actually going to be the 3 of us, and then Raptor actually called one of the members at Rosanna that we were very close with,
Yeah.
Tony, and he would have been doing Mach 10 down the East Link to get there.
Really?
Yeah. He would have been doing some clicks to get there in time. So he got there
Last
with
minute phone call.
He got there with 2 minutes to spare and then slots one down the first on the north. I'm like, and he was my partner. I'm like, yes. Right. When I go to PK, I completely zone out of the actual golf result.
Yes.
Because not that I'm so distracted by the quality of the plays. It's just I'm just enjoying being there.
It's one of the few places, I've obviously had the privilege of playing there a couple of
Yes.
times. It's one of the few places where you discredit everything that happens once the club hits the ball.
Yep.
And you just take in what
the
is
appreciation of
It's
it.
the appreciation of a beautiful place.
So I've been there quite a few times, like fortunate enough to play there quite a lot. I've played the North probably 6 or 7 times now. Played the South only once.
Yeah.
Right. I would love to get on the South very soon. Or next time we're playing Raptors, like, yeah, we'll get on the South, right?
Cool.
Anyway, and so I showed up and body's feeling good, got good sleep, ate some food. Remy picked me up, which was awesome. His car's sexy, so I was in a good mood anyway.
Yep.
Right. And I hit like 8 balls on the range because I just striped at least 7 irons, a couple 4 irons out there, laced this 3-wood, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, well,
I went to the chipping green, so I'm good. Body feels great, right? We did some warm ups, and I said to Raptor, I'm like, look, I haven't locked in here yet. I haven't like put my head down to shoot a score. I've always just gone, don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna play this golf course.
Yeah.
Right, so I locked in. So I'm 3 under through 5. Right.
Jesus.
So I locked in. Right, and then I made another bogey on 7. I can't. The hole's like 140, 135, 140.
It's par 3.
I hit the green and I was in the wrong spot. I had to hit over anyway, and I make them 4 there, and then hit one of the sickest chip shots on 8. But I end up having 3 under.
Nice.
Right, which I'm pleased with.
Yeah.
Never take that away. But I was 4 under through 10, and like hitting the ball great. And it was a weird day too. It was a bit windy. It was a bit rainy. Course was phenomenal as always. But yeah, hit the ball very well. Hit the ball very well because probably our last 12 holes it got real blowy. After about 6, it started picking up. And yeah, I actually properly put the head down a little bit, but I didn't I putted reasonably well. Like there was no 3. There was 1 3 putt, but it was like I'll definitely cop that on the chin because I was actually thinking about chipping it. That's how out of position I was on the green. But and then everything inside 6 feet was very solid. But yeah, I only had 1 outside 12 feet drop, and and because I hit the ball so good, I had a lot of opportunities to really roll a few in. But because they're so quick and they are very fast and very true and roll amazing. But I just didn't have. I don't know it that well yet.
Yeah, fair
to
enough.
really figure it out. I don't play there as often as I would like.
Yeah.
Well, for anyone really, but so yeah, it could we always say it could have been a few shots better. If I had 1 or 2 more drop, it changes to 5 or 6 instead
It's
of 3.
it's still an under par score at a very, very high quality, challenging golf course.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
So it's one to hang your hat on. So
but I was just happy that I played solid because I was putting my head down. I was wanting to shoot a decent score, and when I was a few under through 5, I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is good.
Absolutely.
I'm going to ride this. Yeah, sort of
very good.
went along with it and finished very poorly. But what do you do?
That what you were mentioning before about isolating just the appreciation for a golf course and not really worrying about the score. It's what I got about. It's how I felt about Barnbougle when I was out there recently.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping you kind of feel the same
like
way.
the experience.
It's the experience. And we'll get out there, you and I. Mark actually was chatting to me over the weekend and he goes, when are we going again? Like, we need to go. And we do. Like, we need to organise it with yourself and whoever else wants to come. It's open
We'll get a few more going.
Open ticket. Like,
We'll
whoever
get a
wants
few
to
more
do
going.
it. We might have to try and isolate a week towards Christmas time when you don't enter in any events that week and we just go, right?
Yeah, we got to figure out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like go for like 5-6 days or something.
I reckon you could do 4's probably just 4's good. But it's that same feeling. You're walking onto each tee box, looking out onto the fairway and just going, unbelievable. There's even, I think it might be on my personal Insta. There's a video of us walking to a par 3. Mark took the video and he's just following me as I'm carrying my clubs. And you can audibly hear me go, fuck. Right? Because it just looks like 7 at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just, fuck.
That's the thing. It's
That
so
joint's-
hard.
that joint's
it's so hard.
unbelievable.
Like going to PK, since you don't go there that often, it's like there's not a blade of grass at a place. And when we'll drive in there, so me and Remy were discussing shit. We always go into depth about shit.
course.
We always go into detail. And we didn't. And it wasn't until probably 15 minutes away that we actually like clocked on. We're like, fuck, it is hosing right now. Like it was pissing down on the freeway.
Oh, jeez.
And it was 9:45 in the morning. We didn't tee off till 12 because we were planning to go. We're actually going to do a quick gym session beforehand because I just wanted to suss out the facilities. Right. So we went and sussed it out. It's pretty cool. There was actually a few people in there, so we didn't have room to really do anything. So I just wanted to suss it out as it was. Right.
Cool.
And then we went chipping green range and did whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, it literally stopped as we sort of drove into the gate. and there was obviously the little bits of like you could see water coverage. The second we went in, grabbed our coffees, and then walked back out, it's like it never rained.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, what the fuck? Where did it all go? And like the sun comes out, and I was like, oh my god, it's like it was amazing how quickly it wasn't dry, but it wasn't wet.
Yeah, no, I get
You
it.
know what I mean?
get it.
You know what I mean?
It's not like it had just been hosing.
Yeah.
It
It's
wasn't
sort of like,
that
oh,
wet.
you got a quick little sprinkle, and that's
Of
about
course.
it. But he was piercing down.
Yeah.
Right in the morning, especially.
Well,
anyway.
Raptors won, and he'll say it to anyone who asks him to get out there. He'd rather take people out during summer
Of course.
when it's in the prettiest condition it could ever
Well, not
be.
even that. It's always in the primest condition. It's
Correct.
the weather.
Correct. The
Yeah,
weather.
you have to
You want to make
appreciate
sure you're enjoying it. And he did that the first time we went.
You have to.
The first time we played at PK with the North Course, we teed off at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We got there at like 10:30 in the morning. Right? It might have even been late. I think we teed off at 2. Right?
yeah.
So Marcus was just like, get there early, have some lunch,
Just
go and enjoy it.
soak it all
It's
in.
Disneyland,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You'll
yeah.
just soak it all in.
Yeah.
And he's right. Like, it's the best way to do it. When the weather's nice and it's not too windy and it's warm and you can just drag your bags along on trolleys and just fucking have a great day about it. It makes places like that so much better. And that's why Barton Burger was so good.
Yeah,
Because we got kissed. We got kissed on the ass with some great weather.
Yeah.
And it just made that place
Yeah.
even more special.
Yeah. 100%.
I think my general appreciation for the sport of golf went to the next level after going to that joint.
Yeah, it's just different.
PK
Those
I'd
places.
hyped up heaps in my mind and didn't play the greatest and subsequently didn't enjoy it as much as I loved it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I went home with a bit of a sour taste in my mouth
Yeah,
of
'cause
just
you
like,
played
fuck, I
ordinary.
played shit.
Yeah.
Burgles, I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really try to embrace that thought of I don't care how I play, I just want to love it.
Yeah.
And it just, my love for the sport just went,
Yeah, you had a different
skyrocketed.
mentality at PK because you're like, this place is fucking crazy, but
Yeah.
I want to play so well.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately you
It
didn't.
was the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah.
So, and when we do trips in the future, it'll be much the mentality of fuck it, who cares?
Generally, fuck it, who cares? You play not better than you think.
But your expectations are so low. We spoke about a lot about expectations last week.
We did.
Your expectations are so low that it's only up from here.
Yeah, well,
There's no other way to go.
hit a shank, we'll slump the next
Oh,
one.
well,
Like,
whatever. And then you get humbled when you slice one into the Goombie on 1 on the North Course and SGM goes, that's one.
that was the funniest. That was because me and Raptor went like this. We were like that. Like when you hit it, we're like
Just bit the bottom lip.
because I looked at Raptor and he's like, because we're like, that's gone. That's gone. And SGM's like, that's one. Like this, and we're like, we cackled, right? And
SGM's
you
the
let
best.
out a giggle as well.
I had to.
You
I
took
had
that
to.
well.
I
You
had
took that
to.
well, but you're like, I want to kill him. You want to kill him. Anyway,
Speaking of SGM, him and I like to do, when we practice on Thursday nights, we like to add a little bit of a competitive aspect into our practice.
Yeah.
Right? And this is a topic you wanted to speak about today.
yeah, I mentioned that on the phone
Because you and
earlier.
Raptor had literally just come from a practice session an hour ago?
Yeah.
Right? And you've created a new game and you want to tell us all about it.
Yeah.
And we're going to sort of branch off that and talk about how adding a competitive aspect into your practice
I think it's
is largely beneficial.
I think it's how you can incorporate like practicing without realizing you're practicing.
Yeah.
And especially with someone.
Yep.
With someone, it can improve so much because it's more of a reaction rather than going, I'm going to work on this, and this and structure it. And then you can just go out and be like, oh, fuck, I need to hit this shot now because that person's done this.
Yeah.
So now you just slowly figure out whether you pull it off or not, it doesn't matter. You still, like, you've got something to play for slightly.
Yep.
So you mentioned that you and Michael play for Gatorade on a Saturday sometimes.
Occasionally,
If you
yeah.
do a chipping comp or a putting comp.
Our game is 21.
Yeah.
It's a fun little chipping game that we play.
Yeah, which everyone should know. It's
Yeah.
played at 21, but it's done across many sports. But do you want me to explain our game?
Go on then.
Right. So it's not. I won't take long, but it's you stand a game to 21.
Yep.
So it's one ball each, and it doesn't matter who goes first. It doesn't matter, right? So how it works is closest ball to the hole or nearest to pin gets 1 point. Other person gets 0.
Yep.
Right. The person closest can elect to putt out.
Okay.
So if I putt out, I have the chance to earn 2 points now.
Ah, cool. I like it.
However, if I chip it close, so for example, I put it to 2 feet and you put it to 6 feet, I can choose to putt out. And if I hole mine, great. However, if you hole yours, you've stolen the 2 points from me.
I love it.
If you miss, I get my 2 points because I hold my putt.
Yep.
However, the flip is if I hit it to 5 feet and gone, and you're putting with a wedge, by the way.
Oh, so you're not putting with putter.
Ooh. Just go putt it with a wedge.
Okay.
Which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
If I put it to 5 feet, I'm like, it's downhill, it's moving a little bit. I don't feel that confident with the wedge.
Yeah.
Even though it's 5 feet, doesn't matter. And say you put it to 5 feet, I put it to 10 feet.
Yeah.
So I'm twice as the distance. You could say, check.
Right.
That means you're like, and that gives the person furthest away the chance to override.
Okay.
So that means you're closest, you don't want to hit your putt. You're happy to just take
the 1
1
point and move on.
However, if I'm furthest away at 10 feet, I say, nah, I want the chance. So I make you putt it.
Oh.
If you both miss, person closest just gets a point, nothing happens.
But it puts a bit of stakes on the line.
However, if you hole yours,
The person furthest
automatically
away.
2 points because I've override you. However, I've challenged you and you've completed it.
Yeah.
If you miss and I hole mine, I've stolen the 2 points from you again as well.
Yeah,
as well.
okay, I get
So I have
it.
the chance to override. However, if you say check, then it's on the person furthest away going, nah, you can have your point.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you'd only check in a scenario where it's a bit too far away. You're not confident with putting.
Yeah.
But the person who's further away can turn around and go,
Nah,
putt it.
Because if
If that's the case, so you've hit yours to 5 feet, you're unsure about it. You say check, and I go, I'm 10 feet away. I want you to putt it.
Yeah.
Do I then have to putt?
yes,
Okay, cool. I
yes,
like
because
it.
you're furthest away.
Yeah, cool.
So you've got the power to override it, but you're also at a
So
disadvantage because you're further
you're
away.
putting pressure on
Well,
because there's every chance you make a 10-foot putt.
because you know what the worst thing is?
Yeah.
When you both stump it.
Yeah.
Because it's a weird one. If you put it to 2 feet and I put it to 4 feet,
Yeah.
I'm relatively confident I'm gonna hold a putt, but there's still a chance to miss it from
Mm-hmm.
4 feet. And you go if you think I'm gonna make mine,
I might check it.
you say check.
Yeah.
And if I'm like, oh fuck, that puts me at like you either have your point or I risk missing mine.
Yeah.
Because if I override it, you hold yours and I miss,
It's
you
such
get
a
the
game
2
of
points.
tactics. I like it.
There's a little bit of strat to it because there was a couple times where you'd actually hit it slightly further away, and that's actually really hard to do because it's that's another thing about the competitive practice. Because there's strategy to it, you don't actually realizing you're practicing distance control, speed control, different shots, hitting it to a certain spot on the green to have a better putt.
Yeah.
And you're actually doing this subconsciously.
Yeah.
And so there was a couple times where we'd hit to a certain hole and we know we're going to hit it to a spot that has a straight uphill putt because it's the easiest putt. And regardless if I put it to a foot high side of the hole or 3 feet below the hole, I want that 3 foot putt. I want be below the hole because it's an easier putt if old mate decide to make me putt it. You know what I mean? So
And what did you name the game?
we called it dumbest.
Right.
Because Raptor's like, we should just call this Dumb and Dumber. I'm like, how about dumbest? Because whoever's the dumbest will lose.
Yeah, correct.
Because you don't use the strategies properly. Because
Yeah, correct.
sometimes hitting it slightly further away was a bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
Because the person,
You're in
especially
more-
if you
you're in
stump
more
it,
control.
especially if you stump it. If you both hit it close, the person further away will win the hole.
Yeah.
But if you don't, that's when things.
Yeah.
Someone says check, and you're like, nah, have your point. I don't want to risk the 2.
Yeah.
You're closest. You say, nah, I'm going to make us both putt it. If you miss and they
Yeah.
hole, you lose the 2 points, even though you hit it closer.
I back it.
It is so sick.
So to sum it up, in short, this is my interpretation of
Yep,
it.
go for it.
1 ball each, you both chip.
Yep.
Right. Furthest away basically has the more control. Right. The person who's hit it closest can elect to putt their ball out. Right.
Yep. The closest person has the first decision.
But let's hypothetically say you both hit it to whatever distance is, but you both make the putt.
Yep.
The person who's furthest away wins the 2 points. If you both make the putt.
Sort of. Yes. Essentially, yes.
If you hit yours to 5 and I hit mine to 7, we both drain the putt.
Especially if
I'm further away.
Especially if you've challenged it, yes.
Regardless.
Yeah, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Right?
both make the putt, yes.
Correct.
The furthest away wins the points.
There you go. And so it's a game of cat and mouse in a sense of like, will they, won't they
Yeah.
putt it out, choose strategy, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different variation to our game of 21, which is quite similar. Ours is 2 balls each.
Yeah.
Closest is 2 points. Second closest is 1.
Yeah.
Right. So you got 2 stabs at it.
Yeah.
whoever walks away with most points per shot,
Yeah.
right, gets to pick the next spot and the next hole that they hit to. Because we generally do it on our putting green.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's like 7 or 8 holes that you can pick from.
Yeah.
So we'll go over to one end and go, right, we're hitting that hole over there and whatever. And the person who elects the hole in the shot hits first.
Goes first. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can learn a little bit and whatever. If your balls are the 2 balls that are closest, you walk away with all 3 points.
All 3 points. Yeah.
Right? So me and SGM have had some games where he'll be 11-5 up. And then next thing you know, I'm up 15-12.
Yeah,
Just because
yeah.
you get 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And then the strategy for us comes into, right, well, I've won one now. I'm going to put him in a position where he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So he has to perform.
Yeah, you don't play the game.
And
you
he
play
does the
man.
same thing for me. He knows that I don't like this shot, so he's going to put me there. But he can pull it off. So it's acting under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's also being able to execute different types of shots
Yeah.
because he might go high or low, whatever it does. Generally, with SGM, he plays the ball a lot lower than what I do.
Bit lower, yeah.
I'm like with you and it's like you and Raptor. Raptor will go high, you go low.
Exactly.
I'm Raptor and SGM is you.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We're the same.
He's gonna love that too.
100%. Right. And yeah, it's fun in this, and we generally finish our sessions with a game of 21.
Because you know what that does?
Yeah.
It subconsciously gets you to understand what shots you can and can't pull off under pressure. Well, like you said, but also when you're out on course, okay, where am I going to play for my miss to get me into that most comfortable position? So it does a lot more than you think because you're playing a game.
But the thing is with 21, the way we play it is you're strictly trying to get it as close to the hole as you can.
Of course.
There's no other way to win.
Of course. Yeah.
If you hole out, it's automatic. You'd assume it's automatically a 2-pointer unless he holes one out, then you split the points.
Yeah.
Right? 2 hole outs equals a split point. We've never had that yet.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of times where SGM will put it to fucking that and then I'll hole it out. And he goes, fuck you. And we play stymies.
Yeah.
You have to leave the ball there.
Really?
You can't mark your ball. Unless
well, you're not putting out, are you?
we don't putt out.
Yeah, of course.
It's literally just closest to.
Yeah, so you don't
there
move,
have been
if it's
times-
in line, you don't move it out of the way.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Can't move it out of the way unless it's going to hit, right? If it we generally after the first person will play, they'll walk to the hole. And,
If it's guaranteed a hole out,
yeah,
you'll move
correct.
Okay,
you move
yeah,
it out of the
yeah,
way
yeah.
just out of courtesy and whatever else.
As sportsmanship.
Correct. But yeah, there's so many other ways though for competitive practice. Like it's such a fun topic to speak about because the possibilities are literally endless.
Yeah.
Right? The most common thing that I like to do, and we honestly, and SGM, when you're listening, we'll probably talk about this on Thursday.
Yeah.
We need to play more match plays.
Yeah.
Little 4, 7, however many whole match plays where we can literally just whack tees in the ground, hit balls, and just go. And the loser buys Gatorades on Saturday, for example.
Yep.
Or coffees after the round or whatever it might be, right? You put a little bit of a stake on the line, be it a beer or a sleeve of golf balls, whatever it might be, something of value. And it makes you want to go.
Makes you
and
lock
half
in.
the time, I don't care about what's up for grabs. I don't care, right? Even if it was a dozen Pro V1s, like that's not the issue. I just want to beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. It just helps
if
that
he beats
something's
me,
there.
I'll buy him a dozen Pro
Yeah,
V1s.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But it's more like, no.
No, I'm not letting you win.
Today we're on.
Well, see, with me and Raptors, ours is like sometimes there is occasions where if you are further away, you can win the hole. There is occasions, but ultimately, in the end, whoever does chip the best will win.
Correct.
So when we had all these rules, I won 13-11. So you have to win by 2 in that game, which I assume it's yours as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So I won. I won
yeah,
13.
I think it is,
I
but-
won 13-11. Right, and I was down 6-2.
Yeah,
he won
right.
the first 3 holes straight.
Yeah.
because I think I chipped 2 of them closer as well, and he made me putt him, and he holed his 5-6 footer.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, but eventually, it sort of ran out a little bit.
And that's generally the way that golf goes.
Exactly.
The person
So
who plays the
I
best
only-
or the most consistent over the stretch of time.
I only chipped it just a little bit better. We hit some awesome wedge shots, but I chipped just the tiniest bit better and ended up just coming out on top. But my God, was it fun.
Oh,
it
100%.
was so cool. It
Dude.
was so cool because there was a couple times, honestly, there was a couple times where, yes, hitting it further away, well, being the closest can set you as a disadvantage, especially when the other person puts it just as tight. But yeah, there was occasions where I put mine to a couple feet and he hit his to 12.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm like, no, I've won the hole. But if I say check, But generally, I said, no, I'm putting it.
Yeah.
Because that makes him putt it as well. So I have the power.
Yeah.
Because I've hit it closest. So it's like there is scenarios where, anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Mate, competitive
really
practice. It's not even just competitive practice. Like 2 weeks ago, we were all four of us in our playing group on the Saturday were in the bunker on 13 on the right-hand side. All four of us. It just vacuum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All four of us were in there. And we walked up and I'm like, all right, boys, furthest away rakes the bunker.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We all hit out and one of the boys bladed his through the green. I'm like, no, you're not raking. Fucking give it here. Like, you got to go hit that ball. Like, go get it.
I'm glad you kind of said that. There's a couple times where if I'm playing with some of my mates, whether it's like tournament prep or something like that, closest rakes.
Yeah.
We always say closest rakes.
Fair enough.
For one, you want to hit it closest, but
Yeah.
you kind of don't want to be closest.
Correct.
But you obviously want to stump it. However, being closest, the furthest away still has to
go play.
Still has to go play.
Right. And that would have been the case had, because again, we play ready
If you
golf.
hadn't a knife, fucked
If
it.
all of us are within 15, 12, 20 feet of the hole after that bunker shot, fair enough.
Sucked in.
You're furthest away. We'll just go putt first, rake the bunker.
Yeah, rake the bunker.
Right.
You
But
lost.
Blades one through the green. I'm like, nah, give it
No,
here.
give it here. Give it here.
Go
Go
hit
hit
your
your
ball.
ball.
Go hit your ball. Go find it.
That's
right?
the difference. Yeah.
So, mate, but this topic is one that I'm a big fan of.
It's even just putting games into it. Like it could be just as simple as like during a practice session. This is only during a practice session. On course, you're playing your golf round, you're playing your comp round. However, it could be something as simple as you and Michael on the 7th hole.
Yep.
Right? And you're playing a pracky round, you're having a little match play or whatever you are, and it's like it's like whoever hits the fairway gets a chuggy bar. Something as simple as that.
Yep.
And so now you're playing a shot to hit the fairway. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to try and hit driver to make birdie.
No.
It's like, no, I'm hitting the fairway.
Yeah.
And if you both hit the fairway, nothing happens. If you both miss the fairway, nothing happens. If one of you hit the fairway, you now get that chocolate bar.
Absolutely.
And it tricks your brain into going, no, I need to lock in because something is on the line, even something as small as a chocolate bar. It's a $2 fucking chocolate bar, but it just makes your brain go, I need to hit the fairway. And that's practice.
Yep.
So
And it's more so for the fact that you don't want to lose.
correct. It's
Right?
the
You don't want to win.
competitive aspect.
There's nothing to winning.
It's the
All right, you get a
competitive
chocolate bar.
aspect.
I'll have
Yeah.
a Snickers, thanks. But
Yeah.
it's more about not losing.
Not losing. Correct. 100%.
And the amount of times, mate, when I first joined at Heidelberg, the amount of times I would go out on my own and just play holes for the sake of playing holes. And I felt like, and looking back on it now, hindsight's a beautiful thing. I learnt nothing in that time. Yeah, all right, you pay a bit of attention when you're on the greens and learn what way the putt rolls and all that kind of stuff when you don't know much about it in the first place. Right? But I learnt nothing about how to play that golf course because you'd hit one into the Goombi, but you'd kick it out onto the fairway and get your next shot from the fairway. Right? And you still do that to an extent.
Oh,
but
of course. During a
I've been
practice
there
round.
long enough to know how to slot one through a gap in a tree with a 2-iron or whatever it might be. Right? We put a video on Instagram a few weeks ago, Operation Don't Hit the Bell. Right? Remember that on 9?
took the paint. You took the rust off it.
Took the rust off the
was-
friggin' A-frame. It was ridiculous.
so
but
funny.
like there was, and again, even there was one day, and I've told this story before, where Toby yells out and goes, "I'm coming to play holes with you," and I shit myself. I was playing off 23 at the time, and he's playing off +4. He's the gun. Like, it's Toby. Like, he had that mantra and that aura about him of being the bloke, right? And he still to an extent does have that now at the golf club, is even still.
Yeah.
But back then, when I was just hacking it, we were just getting to know each other, and I'm like, well, I don't want you to come in and play holes with me because I'm going to embarrass myself, and you're going to hate this, right? And even then, that was enough to just put a little bit of fire in me and just go, no, we need to kind of turn it. We need to turn it on here. I don't want this guy to think, oh, I'm never playing holes with him again. He's a fuckwit. He's shit. I'm never playing with
sucks,
him.
yeah.
Right? And it worked. It played all right for a few holes, and then all of a sudden, shake hands and, I got to go, mate. See you later. Thanks for that. That was great fun.
That was good. Yeah.
That's all it takes.
You locked in, you played some golf.
That's all it takes.
Did we at Huntingdale, when we did training sessions, especially for pennant, what we used to do, we used to play for a ball.
Okay.
Only on the shots that you allocated. So if it was a lot of times it was on par threes, but it was also like majority of it was second shots into par fours or par fives or something like that. So what you do, your playing partner or whoever you were versing, you'd say you'll play for a ball every time you allocated it. So what that meant was, for example, say down the first hole, your playing partner or your opponent's in the fairway and they hit their first shot to 20 feet on the green. You're like, I'll play you for a ball, hit it closer. So if they hit it closer, you give them your ball.
Yeah.
So they win a ball because they
And it's bragging rights.
hit it closer than their first shot. So you get them to hit a second ball, and if they hit it closer than their first shot, they win that ball. And if they don't, they give you that ball that they just hit.
Yeah.
So that was like a little. It just enhanced the competition a little bit because you would hit a shot to 8 feet. Right? And then your opponent goes, hit it closer for a ball. And if you accepted it, you had to you had to accept it. If you said, no, I'll keep that, then good. You don't get a ball. No one gets anything.
No.
But if you said, yep, I accept, and you go to try and hit it closer, if you don't, anyway. So it was like that little bit of like, you just lock in that just extra bit because when you go play pennant and someone hits it closer than you, you're like, well, I know how to hit it closer than that ball now. So, and then it just makes you, it wires your brain in different ways.
It's, you can even like
really cool.
Strip it right back. Like when Tiger played Phil in that match years ago, right? It was his massive match, first time they'd ever done it.
Was that like 2019?
Something like that. Shortly after, maybe just after or just before he won the Masters.
Something maybe earlier. Maybe earlier.
Yeah, possibly. You know, the first time they've ever done it, Tiger versus Phil, two of the greats of the 2000s, right? Playing against each other in a one-on-one match on their own golf course. They're the only group out there. Like, it's pretty special.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And they're throwing jabs at each other, being like, all right, well, first hole, longest drive, 200 grand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit.
Uh-huh.
Right? And yeah, on their level, 200 grand is nothing.
Well,
Right? It's chump change.
yeah,
Right?
$20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even at that level, and you hear about it all the time, right? Will Zalatoris or whoever it might be, will talking about, I played a money match with so-and-so during the week to keep it competitive, because there needs to be some incentive on the line.
Yeah.
Because the one issue, and especially at the amateur level, the one issue that people have the most is being able to simulate game-like scenarios to the truest form.
Yeah, correct.
You can't simulate your game on a Saturday to the truest form unless you're there on a Saturday.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But you can get close by putting some stakes on the line.
Yeah,
Like,
you can train
even-
your brain into it.
Absolutely. And that was a big thing that we had in tennis when I was playing tennis as a kid. Did a bit of squad training with the team that I played with on the weekends, right? And again, the coaches would crack the shits about our lack of effort because you're just hitting balls. Like, as long as the technique's good, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden, last 15 minutes, we'd play the little round robin of points against each other, and whoever lost the most points had to bag the courts because we played on like that red Ontocar stuff.
Undercar stuff, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The sand shit in it.
Red sandy shit. And you had to walk around with this big friggin' bag thing and like flatten out all the spots and the footprints. And no one wanted to do that. It was a big friggin' heavy bag as a 13-year-old kid. Fuck that. So you try your ass off.
Yeah. You
And
lock in.
And you lock in, right? And you win. So then you don't have to play as many, you don't have to bag the courts. You've won more points than anybody else.
Yeah.
Right? So at all levels, it funnels
Just
through.
trains your brain, man. It's really cool.
So ultimately, the advice there is a good balance of the two. Regimented, structured practice where you might just go to the driving range with a goal in your mind of, I just want to hit some solid golf shots with a couple of different shapes and make sure that everything's feeling loose. Fair enough. That's all well and good.
Yeah.
But then if you've got someone especially, you can do this by yourself as well. That's the biggest thing.
Well,
you can,
I
have
find-
competitive practice by yourself.
I find practicing, going to the range can get you certain things. If you're working on something, if you know what you're working on, that's one thing. But if you're going to the range just to hit balls, you get nothing out of it.
Absolutely.
But going to the range is more for a warm up, if anything. Feel the center of the golf club. Understand how the body's moving. Forget the result. Just feel the center of the golf club. And as long as the body's feeling good, you're generally going to be all right. And
observe the result in a sense and carry that out onto the golf course.
Exactly. If you're happy with the result, right?
Correct.
And then going out on course, if you're by yourself, what I do a lot is worst ball.
Yeah.
If you have the space and there's no one behind you, like I said, and that sort of stuff, hit 2 balls, you pick the worst shot. Especially if you're looking to improve. If you're just going out there just for a hit because you don't get out there often and you're just going to enjoy golf, just go. If you're not practicing, if you're just going just to enjoy golf.
Enjoy it.
Play one ball, go play the golf course. But if you're practicing to improve and improve mindsets and then lock in for comp rounds or whatever it might be, or lower handicaps or better scores or whatever it might be, worst ball helps a lot because you need to improve on the previous shot that you just hit. And so you could slot one down the middle and you just need to either replicate it or do better. So it's the whole goal is to hit a better shot than your previous one. So it honestly just does things to your mind where you could literally pump one up the middle and you so badly just want to put the driver in the bag and just walk after it and go hit that. But you can't. You got to hit it again, right? And you got to replicate it. And if you put one into the shit, well, now all of a sudden you've got pressure to slot one. So what it does is it trains you to improve in that moment immediately, or it trains you to replicate it if you are playing well. So it's like not a mind trick or a mental trick, but it's just it helps so much during game day.
Absolutely.
It helps so much because if you're playing well, you ride it. If you're not playing well, you know how to escape it. And I find that helps a lot. There's other little games you can do, whether you want to hit a few balls from a particular spot and hit two shapes into the hole and see which one works more, see which one gets closer, whatever it might be, or hit different clubs from the edge of the green, whatever it might be. So
yeah, I like the idea of worst ball.
Yeah, worst ball's
and
good.
had I known
really
earlier, I probably would have put it into my practice a
it's
lot
really
earlier than
good.
what I did. Because the one thing it probably would have taught me earlier that honestly, this took me ages to learn, was that when you do make a mistake or hit a poor shot, the first thought needs to be, it'll be all right.
Recover.
I'll figure it out from there. I'll figure it out from there. So like you said, you're playing two balls on every shot. If you put the first one in the Goombie hard right, no dramas.
Yeah.
Slot the next one, make sure it's better. Cool, tick that off, box it off, but then go to the worst ball and hit it from
You
there.
have to go hit the worst ball from the
Right?
shit.
So now all of a sudden, instead of striping a 3-wood on a par 5 from the middle of the fairway, I've got to hack one out with 5-iron and hope.
Yeah.
Right? So then when you do it on a Saturday, because you will do it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Not maybe the next Saturday, but eventually.
You will.
And you'll come back to that spot and go, that's my divot. That's my divot from a few weeks ago.
But also, not only are you picking that worst ball, you now got to hit two from there.
Yeah.
So whatever shot you hit out of that, you got to pick your worst one.
After
So
that.
if you leave it 5 meters in front of you and then slot the other one up the middle, you've got to now go hit the one from 5 meters in front of
Correct.
you. So it does get draining. It is actually
course.
draining. You can't play it for 18 holes.
No.
Unless you've taken 4 Red Bulls. You can do it, but
It's a lot of swings.
God, that's a lot of golf shots.
a
You're
lot of
playing 2
swings.
rounds of golf.
yeah.
Sort of. But
You are.
You are. But play for 9 holes is more than enough.
Because the other half of it is putting.
Well, yeah. You
Because
you
not
could-
only do you have to pick your worst shot when approaching a green, but then you've got to either chip it twice and then pick the furthest one away,
Yeah.
or you got to putt it twice.
even that.
And if you hold the first one, you got to hold the second
you got to
one.
hold the second one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're putting it for again. So,
Yeah.
like around Rosanna, I have played 18 holes, but in a cart. I've
Yeah.
done it in a cart, right? And the best score I shot, I'm pretty sure, was like 2 over as worst ball.
That's incredible.
And flushed it.
Yeah.
Like flushed it that day and hit it so good and had 2 over for worst ball. And
That's
I was
incredible.
stoked with it, right? My best score for 9 is 1 under.
That's
Right,
even
and
better.
same thing, flushed it.
Yeah.
right. But it's so hard. But then you come out, and all of a sudden, the consequence of hitting a poor shot is now is lifted. It's really crazy what competitive practice does, especially if you want to
absolutely.
improve and shoot better scores. And like I can't stress it enough. If you're just looking out to enjoy the game, do what is going to make you enjoy it the most. Don't do all this practice shit because you're just going to grow to hate it, especially if you don't care on improvement.
No.
But if you're looking to improve, I couldn't stress it enough. Especially playing with someone, because then especially someone of your very similar standard or slightly better than you. Being slightly better than you is only going to make you improve more.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's little bits and pieces. So.
And if you are only confined to a driving range midweek, there are tips and tricks and games that you can play with yourself at a driving range.
We played footy.
Yeah, we used to play footy all
used
the
to play
time
footy.
at what's it called, Plenty Views on Union Road. Set of footy goals and literally go, right, we've got 10 balls with 5-iron.
Yeah.
And then hit them. And whoever had the highest footy score wins.
Generally wins.
Generally
We
wins.
rarely ever put anything on the line. If we
Correct.
were playing together that Saturday, it was Gatorades.
Yeah, correct. That was it.
But winning was enough.
The winning was
I
enough.
wanted to beat you.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's my only.
And that was all the motivation we needed. But mate, I couldn't stress it enough. If you can add some sort of competitive element into your practice, regardless of what it is, so long as you're not killing yourself.
And sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough as well. Like hitting 200 balls at the range. Yes, it can be beneficial if you're working on something and trying to massage a big swing, whether it's fault or improvement out. So for myself, the more balls I hit with a adjustment I'm doing right now is better.
Yep.
because it's going to become more natural. So for me now, for the next probably 2 weeks, I need to hit as many balls as I can.
Okay.
To make that feel more natural. But if the swing feels good and it's in a good spot and you're playing well, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fine line and no one's perfected it. And I'm not even going to say yet because no one will.
No, I don't think so. It's a good way to finish off that topic, I think.
So anyway,
No,
might be on the second cut. What do you reckon?
It might be on to questions from the second cut. Do you want to go first?
I will.
All right.
I will. Would you rather?
Hey.
You knob. Would you rather top every tee shot or flub every wedge shot?
Boy.
I knew that. So I didn't think this one was gonna fuck you, but it's both suck. Both suck. And no. If you have a wedge shot, you can't putt it, so fuck you.
No, that's not even a question.
Would you rather flub every wedge shot or top every tee shot?
I'm leaning towards topping every tee shot, hoping that a top is still good enough to advance me forward a little bit.
Enough.
Generally speaking, based on experience, because I've been there before, a top will go further than a flub.
You'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
And I'm just hoping that, all right, you top one off. All right, I'm picturing. What am I picturing? 4 at Heidelberg, straight up the guts, par 5. You top one of the ladies' tee box if you're lucky, or just behind.
You've got a long
way to go, but I feel like I'm still in a position where I can. All right,
a better position than wasting a shot around the green.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than being 20 out and.
Yeah.
And then
let's say anything inside.
But here's
20 meters of the front of the green.
Here's something you probably haven't thought of as well with your own question. What happens if you have to hit a wedge shot after flubbing a wedge shot?
All right, I will.
Because that's
I'll implement something. You only have to do it once. So if you flub the wedge shot, okay, that wedge shot didn't work. The next one will be better. Next one will be better.
Okay,
but a genie's just someone's just cast a spell on you, and you're either going to top.
Don't do that. Joff.
Every tee shot, or you're going to flub every first wedge shot.
Okay.
Because you can't have 2 tee shots.
No, you can't.
But you don't know. A top could tumble out down 1.
Yeah.
But a top could also
go backwards
on 8. And all of a sudden
5, which I've done before.
Or
longest day. Remember we did that on the longest day. Second or third round in, I was playing. It was me. Oh, it might have been the first year. It was
5.
the first year. Yeah.
You hit it backwards.
Yeah. It was. I started the day with wearing pants. This is a story for you. Started the day wearing pants and it was cold. We teed off at the fucking crack of dawn, right? As we did last year. 2 rounds in, right? And it's getting warm. So I'm like, boys, I'm going to quickly run to the car, chuck some shorts on. Yeah. So they're like, all right, we're going to the tee box. We'll meet you there. Yeah. I've gotten changed, put the shorts on, run to the tee box, and they're halfway down. They've all hit their shots and they're halfway down. So I've pegged up.
So no one's seen it.
No. They saw it because they would turn around and watch me, right? I've pegged one and went to hit 3-wood, that Callaway Epic Flash that I had, right? Stone cold topped it into soft ground and it shot straight backward at me. And Toby was just like, no way.
No fucking way.
And I'm like, fuck. But I was just in such a hurry to catch him because they were 120 meters down the fairway. I mean, in such a hurry, I'm like, peg one. And it was like,
yeah, whee!
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That's the best.
Anyway, it's happened. Yeah, I'd still rather that, to be fair.
You'd rather top every tee shot.
Flub a wedge, yeah.
Because I'm not going to say that the top tee shot is going to be the same every time.
No, but the flub is generally the same every time.
Yeah, generally. But the flub could mean you flub it into the bunker. The flub could mean you flub it onto the false front and rolls further back. The flub could mean it flubs and then you've now got a putt. Like,
it could mean anything.
You do not hit ball first on that chip shot.
No.
You're topping every tee shot.
Yeah, I'd rather
honestly, I would just be the same.
Yeah.
I would be the same because I pride myself in my short game. And if I flub every fucking wedge shot,
I'd
probably think I'd quit.
After all the work you and I have done on short game, I kind of pride myself on the improvements that I've made well.
Yes.
It's not a great short game. It's still not fantastic.
No, but it's
a lot better than what it was.
But if you had a good short game, you'd probably play off better than 4. But
3.5.
Sorry, that was a shit stare. That was,
know it was.
I don't even mean
know it
that.
was.
I don't even mean that. Like, what's your question?
All right, Jolly. So you're sit. I want you to imagine a scenario.
All right, hang on. I need to lock in.
I want you to put yourself in a position now, right?
Yeah, go.
You're sitting at home on the couch, right? Watching the tally, footy's on, Carlton's getting smashed.
Yeah. Aw.
Phone rings.
That's hard. That's not hard to imagine. Phone rings.
It's Jay Monahan from the PGA Tour.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. All right.
And you answer the phone going, hello, and he goes, Jolly!
Hang on.
Jolly.
Yeah.
It's Jay. We've
What's
got a spot this weekend.
Where?
Right? Nah, hang on. We've got a spot this weekend. It's yours if you want it. My question to you is, what event do you want that to be?
Ooh.
You cannot say the players. It must be a PGA Tour event.
Well, okay. I can't say a major then.
No, not a major. It must be a PGA Tour event. You cannot say the players.
Waste Management Phoenix Open.
I love that answer. That is fucking awesome.
Or the Memorial.
Okay, I back it.
I feel like Frozone right now.
Where is my super sub?
Where is my super sub?
I like it. I back it.
I don't know why that first thing that came to my mind because there's so many unbelievable PGA Tour events, and the fact that you said the players, I'm like, oh, fucking damn it.
I know because the first thing
That's
is
the first thing I
Sawgrass and the
would
players.
have said. I would
It's
have
the
said
fifth
that.
major.
I would have said that. It's
Yeah, the waste management.
probably Waste Management, just because it'd be like
It's
the
unbelievable.
atmosphere would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Or the Memorial, because I reckon that's a really cool event too. That's probably all I can really think of. The rest of them sometimes differ from different courses, so the actual event itself.
Unless you're talking about the playoffs that are in the same spots every week, or the Genesis, which is always at Riviera.
Well, was.
But
Yeah, it is.
The other
Yes.
one-
Yeah.
I want to try and expand this a little bit into a topic for just 5 minutes, right? Because I'm a little bit upset at some stuff. The Genesis at Riviera, obviously, I had that massive fire that wasn't there this year, or whatever. Or no, it wasn't a fire. There was issues in LA that caused it not to be there. I might have even been fires.
What was the fires?
Fires. There you go.
Yeah.
Or Tour Championship at Eastlake, unreal. Waste management for me.
Bay Hill Invitational.
Bay Hill Invitational, Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
The Pro-Am. That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
And that leads me on to my topic that I want to quickly divert and talk about before we end the episode. I don't appreciate the PGA Tour holding events at major golf courses.
No such thing.
I understand what you mean.
No such thing. The only major golf course
Pebble Beach.
is Augusta National.
I understand that. But courses that are on major rotors, right? So Pebble Beach is on the rotor.
I disagree.
It would be for the US Open, and 100% it would be.
They also have a Pro-Am there.
And
I understand what you mean.
what I'm
Sorry,
saying
I'll
is
shut up. Hang on,
there
sorry.
shouldn't be
Sorry.
the Pebble Beach Pro-Am every year at Pebble Beach. That golf course should be reserved for when the US Open wants to have it there every however many years. The US Open is on at Oakmont every 4 or 5 years. If you look at it, it's booked out till like 2055, right? Every 5
like
years,
every 4 or
it's at
5,
Oakmont, right? It's a staple of the US Open. Pebble Beach is also in there for a few years as well, right? My discomfort with the scenario,
we'll go with that. We'll go, yeah.
my discomfort
Yeah.
comes with the fact that I get to see, and we had this issue with Bay Hill, not Bay Hill. Where was the PGA this year?
Why can't I think of it?
Fucking
Oh my god!
Why can't I
I
think
can
of it?
picture most of the holes too.
fuck. Where was it? I'm going to Google it. But the issue that I
Oh
have
my god!
with
It's
it,
on the tip of my tongue. Why can't I think of it? Why does that happen? Why does that happen mentally?
I don't get it.
That you want to think of something so hard that you can't think of it. When he's going to say it, I'm going to be so angry.
I'm going to be angry too. It was at no. Yeah,
Oh my god! Why can't I think of it?
A few moments later.
Quail Hollow.
Oh my god!
Fuck's sake.
Oh, I'm angry.
The reason why-
I'm so angry.
The
Please
reason-
cut that out. Surely, that's embarrassing.
We're leaving it in.
That sucks.
Anyway,
I
the
hate
reason why I didn't appreciate it being at Quail Hollow is because I see it every year. There's a tournament there every fucking year, right? Why can't we be in a position? There's no tournament every year at Bethpage Black. I feel like you're either going to have events there every year, or you're not. You're saving them for the majors. You can't have both,
Sometimes, yeah.
right? And especially a place like Pebble Beach, they charge $750 for a round at Pebble Beach. Anyone can walk onto that joint if you've got the cash. But for 4 days every year, they've got a pro-am. And I get it. Pebble Beach has an aura about itself about being such an iconic golf course and blah, 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 blah. But I want that iconicness to be reserved for US Opens. Just like Oakmont. You'll never see a PGA Tour event at Oakmont, as far as I'm concerned. It's just reserved for US Opens, right? Quail Hollow, I don't think should ever host a major again. I don't see the point. You don't see, but then there's golf courses that are reserved just for majors. Brookline, St. Andrews, right? They're all reserved just for majors. And yeah, they've probably hosted PGA Tour events in the past, or they might in the future. That's all well and good. But if they're just going to host majors, just leave it alone. We don't need to see more of such an iconic place. That's why Augusta's so great, because we only go there once a year.
I understand what you mean.
It's a staple.
I understand what you mean.
And that's why St. Andrews is so great, because we only go there every 5 years.
Well, they have the Alfred Dunhill there.
That grinds my gears.
Why? It's a great event.
It's a great event, true. And it's only it kind of keeps the mystique about it because it's only a couple of rounds at St. Andrews. It's split over a couple of golf courses, including
so is
St. Andrews.
the Pebble Beach Pro-Am though. So that's Spyglass as well.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Fair enough.
Roy McIlroy had the hole-in-one on Spyglass.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Again, this is how little attention I pay to professional golf, right?
Well, we're not a podcast for it, so
No, true.
But yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't agree or disagree. I'm not.
No.
This is your.
It grinds my gears a little bit especially with Quail Hollow, because even players in some aspects were saying, based on the conditions that they had, they were saying this place should not be hosting a major.
Sawgrass.
No, Quail Hollow.
It was disappointing just because of some of the things that happened that were highlighted more. Maybe with what Scotty said, I think that had some pull and what happened to Lowry, but I don't disagree with having it there. It's had a lot of success there in the past.
Yeah, fair enough.
With hosting a major.
Fair enough.
Look, was it disappointing what happened this year with a couple of things? Maybe.
But what I'm saying is, because of the Waste Management Phoenix Open, you're not all of a sudden going to have a PGA Championship at TPC Scottsdale, are you?
No. I get what. Yeah.
So whilst all professional golf courses are phenomenal, especially TPC courses, right?
Yeah.
You've still got your sort of unofficial levels and hierarchy of quality of golf courses. There's your local munis that are phenomenal and can host a major, like Bethpage Black, right? Then there's your PGA Tour courses that are there every year. I'm talking about like Copperhead, right? Valero Texas Open, those kind of places. So the same courses we go to every year.
For the same event.
And they just change the name every 3 years based on the sponsors, right? And then there's majors only, and only majors only. And that's where I feel like when we start blurring the lines between the two, like regular events and majors, that's where I'm like, nah, a firm line needs to be drawn. And someone a committee needs to decide early whether a course is going to be one or the other, PGA Tour or European Tour, whatever it might be, quality golf course, or are we reserving this because it's so special for the majors? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
It's something that's popped up recently.
Yeah,
since the PGA.
It's weird though, because sometimes it's like, even with an organisation such as the PGA, it's like there's still places that they probably consult going, hi, like even 10 years in advance, 12 years in advance, going, hey, we want to host the US Open here in 2039, or something like that. And sometimes the golf course goes, no. Like, not that simple. It's not that easy. But sometimes they go, we can't.
We won't
can't
get it ready in
facilitate.
time. Yeah.
So they go, sometimes it's not what they want, it's what they can occasionally, which kind of look that way at Quail Hollow a little bit. Like, yes, was the course prepared well enough for the event? Of course it was. It was in phenomenal condition, but there was a couple of times where they got the bad break of an overseeded, overwatered, soft course that gave mud balls, right? Other than that, it was phenomenal. But I think for that, it might have been maybe they just caught it on a bad year. Or not even bad year, but I understand what you mean.
Could have honestly been a bad time of the year.
Maybe. Maybe it's just a bit stiff luck that it's...
We also don't know the process that they go to choose these golf courses.
Exactly.
And
How do we know that they have the full power to go for Jay? It's not Jay Monahan choosing the major courses, but whoever chooses the major courses calls this course up, going, "Hey, we're having the US Open here in 2034, whether you like it or not. I'm going to get my trucks here.
We're going to make it work.
We're going to make it happen." Right, and the course has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
which they of course do.
But then likewise, you might turn around and go, hypothetically, let's use Quail Hollow as an example, right? 2025 PGA Championship might not have a home until 2022, and then instead of having 5 to 7 years to prepare, you've only got 3 because you can't find a spot to fill it.
Sometimes
you never know. You never know. This might have been the example, right?
For a lot of the
you're
events,
looking for a joint that's already pre-cut and cookie cutter, ready to go. That's good enough to host an event to that standard. And they turn around and go, well, what do we have? What can we do on a quick whim, whatever it might be, that can prepare itself not only for a regular PGA Tour event, but also a major?
I want you to name the last golf course that was taken on short notice and unprepared for a major.
I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah,
but again,
that's where the organisation from it. So them having Quail Hollow this year, they would have known that 5 years ago.
100%.
It might not have been expressed, but they would have known that. So would have Quail Hollow. They would have known that before, a long time ago.
But also,
so it's like if the Masters was ever played anywhere but Augusta, event's ruined.
Correct.
So I understand what you're saying. With not playing, say for example, the US Open. They should. I agree. They shouldn't have another event another PGA Tour event at Whistling Straits.
Yeah,
or something like that. Like it would be weird.
Yeah,
like they had the Ryder Cup there, but that's different.
The Ryder Cup is its own standalone.
But the Ryder Cup is the Ryder Cup.
It's a major.
If they had the Ryder Cup at Augusta, it'd still be the fucking Ryder Cup.
100%.
Oh, actually, that's a bit weird. But
I'd love to see it. But anyway,
that'd be pretty cool. But you know what I mean. But
I think it's something that they should explore.
I understand having the.
I suppose you can sum it up like this:
having the Shriners Children's Open at Sawgrass would be so weird.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying with that. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But
having the US Open at Sawgrass would be weird.
Yeah,
you've already got the players there. It's such an established event.
I agree. With that, I completely understand what you're saying, but it's not that simple.
I suppose that simple. In that event. Right, we use Quail Hollow as the example again, and this is the last thing I'll say about this before we wrap it up. You've got the major there for 2025. Don't have the standard event there for that year. I don't want to be going to a golf course twice in a year.
I think it's separating the event.
I get it, and they're two different entities.
Yeah,
they're two different entities.
It's completely different.
Might control the politics behind it all.
Thing. Yeah.
It's just something that. It's me nitpicking.
It sounds like something you've noticed.
It's me nitpicking again, and something that I've picked up on, and I'm just like,
really?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They'll be.
Do you know what I mean?
They know something we don't.
It's not like there's one of 8 venues to play a game of footy at, and they're the only ones. So we have to play 2 games a week at the MCG. It's not like that at all. It's not like that's the standard about it at all. 4 times a year we play, or 3 times a year we play at a different golf course for this tournament. Every year it's different. For these 3 events. The 4th is already taken care of. But we don't go there during the year as well. It just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, like I said, it's sometimes...
It's me nitpicking and being a little...
It's sometimes like...
little fuck.
It's sometimes like... What I've noticed, sometimes for even the Australasian circuit, there's preferred places that they would love to host an event. And there's a lot of places that they do have the same event at the same golf course. And you don't go to that golf course for another event.
No.
Right? Like, for example, the NT PGA, right? That's always at Palmerston. Well, one, it's the only golf course that's going to host an event like that, or is going to host the event, but it's reserved for that event only.
Yeah.
But I've heard sometimes that when hosting an event, it's sometimes when I say sometimes, it's honestly 50-50. With if the golf course wants to is happy to host that event, they'll host the event there.
Yeah.
It's sort of getting the courses they can, not what they want.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's for the PGA. If they can only get a sponsored event at Quail Hollow during the regular season, but it's also planned for the PGA, well, they're going to host that something open or something championship at Quail Hollow before 4 months before the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
Because they can host the event at Quail Hollow.
No,
and
I
they
don't-
can get the sponsors there. Like,
I'm not knocking it.
it's sometimes I understand what you mean, but it's like just separate the event rather than the golf course, which is sometimes hard to do. But
They're very hard.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I like it,
thank you. Yeah, good. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this week's episode. Apologies for the rant late in the last minute of the episode. If you've enjoyed, please head down into the description, hit the like and subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. I need to start saying it at the start of the episodes as well, Jolly.
What?
Like and subscribe.
Yes, do it now.
Please do
or
it.
I'll find you. Sorry.
We love our Spotify audience. You guys are killing it over there. Please make sure to follow and leave us a 5-star review over there. Instagram and TikTok, always killing it as per usual. Thank you very much for all your support. Head covers are on their way for those who have ordered them. They are coming very soon. I'm hoping in the next week, maybe 2.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay.
I haven't heard anything, but just based on timelines, we're in that sort of space. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, hit them very, very well. Enjoy your golf. We'll see you next week. Cheers.